You're listening to a Biscuit Boys special with Millie Manders. Your host is Paul Collins.
Millie Manders, you're absolutely right. It is a lovely microphone.
It truly is.
Welcome to Birmingham.
Hello, thank you.
And welcome to my Biscuit Boys special with Millie Manders on the first leg of your tour.
Thank you so much.
You're sitting down. I'm going to sit down next to you.
Come and get comfy. Careful with your CD though. You don't want to crush the case.
No, we don't. I've just bought that and it looks lovely.
Oh, thank you.
I want to know all about you.
Okay.
I've got your CD.
Yeah.
I'm loving the artwork.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk, at length. We've got probably 30 minutes.
Okay.
So we don't want to rush anything.
Okay.
I want to know where you come from.
Yeah.
Your influences.
Yeah.
Your background.
Okay.
You've got lovely eyes.
Thank you very much. I
Brown,
appreciate
aren't
that. Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Under this light. It's honestly.
Under this lovely street lamp.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago I was here and Electric,
Yep.
one of the, artists,
Yep.
said, Gabby, you've got lovely eyes.
Isn't that lovely?
I think it must
That's so
be
nice.
the way that the light catches.
No, you do have lovely eyes.
Oh, thank you, Millie.
Yeah, it was the truth. Whoever you are, Electric, well done for pointing it out.
So let's talk about Millie Manders.
Okay,
where are you from?
I was born in Surrey, just outside of London. I was brought up until I was 17 in a little town called Lowestoft, which is out on the east coast. It's the most
Norwich?
easterly town in the UK.
Mm.
And then when I got to 17, I decided that I'd had enough of tiny towns. No offence, Lowestoft, I do love you and I love coming home. But I decided London was the place I wanted to be, and I wanted to go and learn music, learn to perform, and really hone my skills as a musician. So I travelled out to London, and I'm going to show my age. I've been there for 15 years now. So, and I love London, and that's who I am now. I am a Londoner.
Still young enough. Still young enough to be my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't look it. Well done. Congratulations. Let's give you a little round of applause.
So you moved to London.
Yeah.
You studied music.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I went to Richmond upon Thames College, and I did a Performing Arts BTEC National there. And then I spent 10 years working and trying to pay for my musician's life through working, and I ended up being a retail manager for 10 years and all sorts of things. And I decided at that point that actually I'd had enough and that I needed to really give myself the opportunity to be a musician. So I shoved it all in, told them all to do one in the most polite way possible, of course. And I went back to university, and I'm just in my last term of university now, having done a 3-year degree in music management, and I've been practically applying it to my music since, which is great. It's been great fun.
Yeah.
I'm very scared of the real world mawing at me from
Scary. January.
It's staring me in the face and roaring. But, with any luck, I won't have to go back into a normal job.
Now, Facebook and Twitter,
Yes,
social media per se,
yeah.
are wonderful tools,
they really are, yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah, fully agree, yeah.
Especially for unsigned artists.
If you know how to use them, if you know how to work them and to essentially network, and networking is an evil word in a lot of people's eyes, but actually all it means is talking to people.
Yeah.
And if you know how to talk to people on each of the different social media forums, then yes, you can use it as a very exciting tool to reach your fans and understand how your fans want to be communicated with, and build relationships that way, not just with fans but also with promoters, with radio stations, with people that want to hear your music and are looking for people like you. You need to learn how to use those tools. I've actually just done a podcast that will be out on a podcast called How to Write a Tune. It's a 3 series on Facebook, Twitter and other social media sites, and essentially building your own brand as a musician. So look out for that. That's going to be out in the next few weeks.
How will people be able to find that? Is it just going to be on Millie Manders, your Facebook, Millie Manders, your Twitter feed?
It's on iTunes as a podcast called How to Write a Tune.
Okay.
So you'll be able to find it there. I'll be talking about it on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Millie Manders Music. You'll be able to find it on my news feed, on my website and all sorts of things. But How to Write a Tune is a solid podcast. They're about to release one by Frank Turner. So they're getting some really decent people in, but I've specifically done one on branding and building your relationship with your fans online, and hopefully it will give some young unsigned artists an insight into how to build your brand.
Well, any of your podcasts that you do, if you want to put them on our srbradio.com, we'd be more than happy to help you.
I will definitely speak to you about that on one of our multi-forums in the next couple of days, and we'll get that sorted out. I'll put you in contact with them, because they're great guys, really great guys. It's
all about helping each other.
Yeah, I agree
Now,
with
I first come into contact with you through an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Sir Horace Gentleman.
Horace Panther, yes. Yeah. What a beautiful person. And Claire is equally, like, they're just lovely, lovely people. Him, his whole team, everybody that I come into contact with regards to Horace are just genuinely kind, generous, supportive people. And Horace particularly loves finding unsigned musicians and supporting them. So, yeah, I have a great relationship with Horace. I love him to bits.
And he said, Gabby, you've got to check out Millie Manders.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Thanks, Horace.
Got to check out Millie Manders. As I was going, like, Horace, on our Biscuit Boys show, Horace, let's have one from Panther's Picks and stuff. And, you know, everybody just gets so busy, and then he's on tour, he's doing the art. I don't want to keep pestering people and stuff. But, you know, you are one of the artists that he did put forward. Yeah. I looked at a little video, and I thought you wrote it about me. It's called Little Big Mouth. Yes, Little Big Mouth. It's definitely, it's nice that I've got a song that people recognise when I go and play gigs. It's nice to have people actually wanting to hear a certain song, and that's one of them. The other one is actually Hole in Your Chest. Horace and Claire decided to tell me that they often sing You've Got a Hole in Your Vest instead, which, you know, is great. If you're gonna do a satire of my song, I think that's absolutely amazing, and I am incredibly flattered. So again, thank you. Now, you've played festivals.
Yeah.
You've played with lots and lots. You've been name checking one or two.
Yeah.
So let's have a name check of some of the artists that you've hooked up with. Some of them that are about these days.
Okay. Do you mean like you want to hear about some of the unsigned artists that I know on the scene at the moment that are absolutely brilliant? Yeah, great.
For a couple of minutes.
I saw a band called the Kenneths very recently at a tiny little bar in Hoxton, and they've just done the whole of the Vans Warped Tour out in America, and they are a brilliant post-grunge punk band, and they're coming up fast. If you want to get on a bandwagon of a band that's going to be huge next year, look at the Kenneths. Amazing. You see celebrities wearing their t-shirt all the time at the moment.
Okay.
Really, really cool guy called Jake Garrett that's signed to the Universal Group. He was on stage at Shepherd's Bush Empire wearing a Kenneth's t-shirt very recently, so they're definitely one to check out. Some of the people that are on my sort of scene, the ska, the pop punk, that kind of scene, look at the Ghouls, have a look at Risky and the Ridicule, absolutely phenomenal. I've even got a lyric from them tattooed on me because I think they're that good.
What lyric is it?
It's, if you ain't got roots, how you gonna grow? And it's a song called Roots. Definitely worth a check out. Risky's lyricism is absolutely incredible. He used to be a grime MC. He now fronts a punk band. And so he's just brought this amazing lyrical flow and politicism over into the punk genre. And it's great to look at. Who else is on our scene at the moment that are incredible? You've got the Talks. The Talks are just infectious. Ska, pop, punk, fun. Popes of Chillytown are getting great recognition at the moment, and their energy live is unlike anything else you will see from a ska punk band at the moment on our scene. They often use mathematical time signatures and crazy little structures you would never notice, but if you're a musician watching this band, not only will you notice that their songs are catchy, fast-paced, amazing horn lines, but also technically speaking, as musicians, they're technically perfection. So yeah, there's a lot of really, really decent ska and punk going on at the moment. There's some fantastic unsigned people. Look at festivals like Blackthorn. The lineup for Kaya Festival this year was incredible. Places like Boomtown, you've got Counting Coins. We actually did a song together with Harry called Bacchus, the single version of Bacchus. I've got Harry rapping for me in the second verse. Again, lyrical content, fantastic. Very socially aware man, and again, another band that's got fantastic energy live. I could go on for hours about the unsigned scene, so I won't take up all of your time doing that, but it really is worth checking out some of these Roots festivals that are around the UK and just having a look at the lineup and checking some of the bands out, because you will find some serious diamonds. Definitely.
I agree. And that's what I love when I talk to musicians.
Yeah.
Because it takes one to know one, don't it? And you know what's good. You know what you like. And it's connecting and it's networking.
Yeah.
And it's getting to know, where do you pitch your songs? What kind of airplay have you had on?
national, on local, on any kind of radio stations?
The biggest place that I've been played at the moment is when John Kennedy was on XFM, now Radio X.
Yeah.
John Kennedy does the Exposure Show. And he's played a song called Hole in Your Chest a couple of times on there. I've recently gone and bugged him and given him the new EP, so I don't know if he's played that recently, because he doesn't tell his artists.
Oh.
When he plays a song, he doesn't want to tell the artist because he wants an organic reaction.
Okay.
So he may well have played one of the songs, I don't know. I'll be going to find him at his Exposure Show shortly to find out whether or not he liked the EP. I've also been played on Team Rock Radio.
Yeah.
Which you can get on DAB. Fantastic show. It was being presented at the time by a guy called Matt Stocks. He works with all sorts of fantastic people in the industry. And I did an acoustic session there, and he played some of the EP. And he said some lovely things about the new one. So thank you, Matt. You're ace.
Now let's talk about your new one.
Yes.
It's 5 tracks.
4 tracks. It's a 4-track EP. Yeah.
Did I not count 5?
No, sorry.
Blimey, didn't I?
No.
My maths was
Apologies.
never very good. Oh, it's okay.
Apologies. Yes, it's a 4-track EP. It's a concept EP. I wanted to do... Basically, we set ourselves a challenge. We put out a pledge campaign. We decided to do a crowdfunding campaign. And we managed to get 115% in the end. And it was basically I had to write and record 3 songs in 4 months. And it had to be from the inception of it to it being mastered and put out to these pledges. 3 songs had to be written. Bacchus had already been done, that was the single. We had an EP version for that. But Long Gone Teddy and Obsession Transgression, which is the name of the EP, they all got written. And I decided that I wanted to do a bit of a concept one and write 4 tracks that would be centering around either obsession or possession, and the kind of the detriment that can have. I wanted it to be a bit more socially aware. So you've got a track about the obsession with drinking and the crutch that you use it as for various different mediums. You've got one about possessiveness in a relationship.
Yeah.
You've got one about obsessiveness in a relationship. And you've got another one, and where are we? Obsession Transgression is very much about your obsession with image.
Yeah.
Because I think at the moment I see so many forums for telling people how they should look, how they should feel, what they should wear. And we've forgotten the fact that we should learn to love ourselves rather than worrying about what we should look like. You know,
Correct.
I'm sick of being told that I should be curvy, skinny, have perfect contoured eyebrows, wear the right amount of blusher to make my cheekbones out at an angle, or whatever it is. You know, I get really bored of it. I'm the sort of person that would rather wear no makeup and walk around in tracky pants for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I wrote a song about that because I think it's important that people start to reassess where they should be with themselves. Hopefully people like it. So far the reaction's been great. But yeah, you mentioned the artwork. You said that you loved the artwork.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Let me tell you who that is. That is Dan Harris. Dan Harris is a writer and illustrator of a comic book called Lou Scannon, and it's fantastic. It won awards. It's a Welsh comic. It's an independent comic. He goes to all the Comic Cons and everything. His art style is amazing, and he is the sort of person I can ring up and be like, Dan, I've got this happening. I'm going to send you the tracks. Just do some images, 1 image per track. Just get the essence of it for me. And he has done it again and again and again. He's fantastic at picking out the real emotion, the real feel of anything that I ask him to do and making it visually there, you know?
Yeah.
I love everything that he's done for my EP, right down to the lettering of each of the tracks. Like, he's amazing. Yeah, definitely go check it.
How useful was the pledge, that campaign, for an artist like yourself? And how because a lot of artists do that today, don't they? How does it work?
Do. As a pledge campaign, you must be willing to put in all the money yourself, because if you fail, you're going to have to pay for it. I'm so blessed that we managed to make it. But what I would say to any artist is, if you are thinking about doing a pledge campaign, make sure you're organised, make sure you're dedicated, make sure you are willing to be on the internet all of the time, talking to people, telling people about it, finding new ways of selling the same product over and over again, because one person might not look at, here's my pledge campaign, but they might look at, here's a t-shirt that happens to be in the pledge campaign. You have to find different ways of presenting your pledge to the people that are going to be investing in it. You have to make them excited about investing in you. And if you can't do that, if you don't want to do that or don't have the time to do that, pledge, you may well end up not making that target.
Sure.
You know, you have to be very careful about it and be realistic. if your a fan base is only 235 people on Facebook, you're not going to make 25 grand.
Yeah.
What realistically are you going to be able to pull from the people that you've got around you that you can email, talk to, get on the street? Are you a student? Could you get your student base to pledge to it? But be realistic about what it is that you can achieve. And really think hard about how much time you're willing to invest in that, because if people are investing in you, you sure as heck have to invest back in those people, because they deserve it, they want it, and you need to do it.
Because music, like anything, whether you talk about football or without fans, it isn't anything, is it?
No, absolutely not. Your fans make you. You can make as many beautiful songs as you like,
exactly.
But if your fans aren't investing in you, then you are nothing. Unless you want to be a bedroom hero, that's fine. Some people really just want to make music and sit in their bedroom. I don't. I want people to hear the songs that I write, and in that sense it's such a blessing to have people wanting to hear those songs. And so I love talking to people. I love saying thank you. I love engaging with those people that are wanting to invest in time in me. But you really do have to be one of those people. You have to enjoy it.
You're in Birmingham.
Yeah, I am.
Sitting on this step.
It's a cold step, isn't it?
I know, it is very cold.
Well done, Birmingham, for creating the coldest concrete step in the world.
How come the Actress and Bishop? How did you hook up with this venue? Why Birmingham first? And tell me about the other legs of your wonderful tour.
Okay, so I've been here a couple of times when I was acoustic and trying to find a band. I played at the Yardbird a couple of times. And I haven't been back for over a year now. And I was desperately trying to find a way of getting back to Birmingham. And Dave Timms comes along from Sean Gambol, Walsh and the Plagiarists. I was working at the Jazz Cafe as one of my part-time jobs until recently, and he happened to be there at a gig, and he told me I was the best barmaid in the world. Obviously I am. And we got talking, and he discovered that I was a musician, and I said that I really wanted to go to Birmingham, and he said I can probably sort that out. And I was like, great, thinking not much more of it. And he got hold of me a little while later and was like, so do you want to do a gig in Birmingham? I'm like, yeah, we do. The reason Birmingham is the first date on our tour is quite simply, as an undersigned artist, it's very difficult to get gigs around the UK unless you have a manager or a booking agent. You have to constantly be on the phone trying to book these gigs. And this was the first date that we could get. And it's as simple as that. So we've got Birmingham today, we've got Caister near Norwich tomorrow, we've got Sheerness in Kent on Saturday, and then after that we have a week before our next gig back in London. After that we're in Dorset. I think after that we are back in London doing an acoustic set, and then we're out in Banham in Norfolk. So we bounce back and forth, and as people that have to, unsigned musicians more often than not have to have full-time jobs, we try to keep it Monday to Friday so that at the weekends we can bounce somewhere else outside of London. But it's really nice to have a 3-day straight where we're just on the road. We've got a van, we're sleeping on floors in our sleeping bags, and we're having a great time. So
that's the reality of music, isn't it?
It is,
and touring.
Yeah, it really is. I have slept in some quite strange situations. I won't go into them. But touring is a strange business, especially at our level, and it's a willingness. If you really want to be on stage, if you really want to be touring, do it. Don't worry about whether or not you wake up dirty and smelly. You're going to be in a van to somewhere else anyway. Use a shower if there is one. Have a load of baby wipes if there isn't. Just get on with it. At the end of the day, that is what builds your fan base, is getting out on the road, going and meeting people, talking to people, playing to people, engaging with people after you've got off the stage, staying in crazy places, hoping that the band that you're playing with has got a floor that you can sleep on. You might end up sleeping in your car, but just do it, because you will never regret having those kind of adventures.
I somehow can't see you on the X Factor.
No, you won't. I think we'll put that one to rest, as you won't. I have no problem with the fact that there are lots of people that are right for the X Factor. There are lots of people that there's a very small few that have made it through and have been successful in the long term. But for me, what I see X Factor is a churn out of the pop factory, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you've got somebody that just wants to have people write songs or give them songs to sing and give them a platform to do it, that's what the X Factor is. But don't expect to be a songwriter there, because again, there's very limited people that come out of that factory that are songwriters and are allowed to sing their own songs. I think I can only think of one, and Ollie Murs is probably the only one I can think of that actually now sings his songs. But it really is a very small fraction of the people that become longevity. After that, you're a name that people might remember if you're lucky. So again, like if that's the route you want to go, if you just want to be a pop artist, then go for it. For me, I don't want to do that. I very much want my autonomy. I want to be able to write my music, play my music, have my image. If I want to have 20 piercings in my face, I don't want someone turning around to me and saying you can't do that. It's not the right image. That's who I am. So I'm never going to be suited to something like that. But it is what it is. It's a reality TV show that's for entertainment at the end of the day. It may as well be Big Brother.
It's just a damn good karaoke show, isn't it?
It is. It's a
really
great karaoke show. And as I say, at the end of the day, what it is an entertainment business. It's not really anything to do with getting people to be astronomically famous. It's not making your next Rihanna. It really isn't.
No.
Leona Lewis is a very lucky one. She's gone over to America, but she got out of her contract in the end. But there are very few people that stay at the top and carry on from the X Factor. Good luck to anybody that wants to go on there. Great platform for getting a few thousand Twitter followers if you get onto the live shows. Other than that, it's an entertainment show. That's what it is. It's an entertainment show.
But I would love it if what it did was find proper talent and showcase and put them on so people could watch from the comfort of the room artists performing their own material and watching them grow in their own organic way.
That's the Jules Holland show.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes that's a bit, isn't it?
Well, at the end of the day, anything that you have on television is selected purely for entertainment.
Yeah.
They're only going to put stuff on there that is going to draw in an audience, which generally meaning either it has to be a reality show or it has to be something that they already know has got a great following. So to be able to find unsigned acts and get them on a show for people to discover, they would already kind of need to be discovered.
Yep.
Do you see what I mean?
I agree totally.
So it would still only be an entertainment show. It just doesn't work in that way. The only way you'll ever get an unsigned artist to have longevity is for them to do it from the roots level for themselves. To build that fan base, to have that interaction. There is no quick fix to that.
No,
there's 3 ways into the music industry. You can be born in, very lucky, well done, that's great. You can be bought in, and X Factor is kind of being bought in. You're lucky if you get the stay with being bought in, but you get a flash pan, so it can work. Or you can be liked in. And being liked in is much harder, and that takes a lot more graft and it takes a lot more hard work. And do you know what? It's the most rewarding, I think, because you've had to work hard for it. You've had to go from your grassroots and you've had to build that fan base and build those relationships. And I have such great friends that are fans. I have great friends in all factions of music industry, out of music industry, around the UK, that I will see them and I will give them the biggest hug, even if I haven't seen them for a year, because it's just really lovely to have that kind of interaction in that network. And I'd much rather have longevity and have people knowing that I worked hard for it and knowing that I put the time in and invested in them, rather than investing a couple of million in an album that suddenly went onto the radio, but people don't really care about who I am at that point. They just care about the album, because it's not just about the music these days. It is about the relationships.
Talk to me about the other guys in your band, because it isn't just you. You've got somebody playing drums, I'm guessing, bass, guitar, and
I have got an incredible band, and actually we're just about to start writing together as well.
Okay.
So it won't just be me. In fact, the EP I co-wrote on all of those songs. I did the lyricism and melodies, but the backing tracks and things, I worked with 2 people on 3 of the songs and 1 person on the other, and Teddy was written with myself and my guitarist.
Okay.
So he came up with sort of the chord lines and stuff, and we both wrote the horn lines together, and I did all the lyricism and the melodies and stuff. And I love that kind of journey. As a singer-songwriter, I don't think anybody should limit themselves, and it's lovely to be able to work with different influences, because it broadens your horizons. And it makes you learn, you know, it makes you develop as a songwriter, and I love that. So my band and I are about to embark on a songwriting mission to see what can come out of that. I've got Frankie P on the bass. He and I have been working together for nearly a decade. We actually started out in Second Sense back in the MySpace days. And we had a bit of a bad deal. Again, won't go into too much of it, but essentially it was bad for us, it was bad for them. It took a long time legally to get out of that, but he still works with me, which is great. Musa is on the guitars. He has been working with me now for nearly a year. I call him the Wall because he's huge, but he's actually a big cuddly bear, unless you upset him. But he's great. He is my wall. I've got Alessandro Vitiello on the drums.
Is he Italian?
He is Italian. He's Italian. He's the drum munchkin, and he is my metronome. He's amazing. He keeps us all on the straight and narrow, beat wise, every step of the way. Without him, we'd be a mess. Love him. I love those are my solid bands at the moment. We tour together, we laugh together, we rehearse together. We take the piss out of each other. Sorry, I hope that can be bleeped out or something.
Millie, all my programmes are organic.
Okay.
You want to hear some of them?
Okay.
Regale swore most on any show that I've ever done.
Okay, so yeah, that's the core of it. At the moment, I've got Nick Onley on tenor sax and Lina Margareta from Sweden on the pocket trumpet.
Very international.
Very international. We love that. We love multicultures. Those guys are depping for me at the moment, but actually they've been depping for me for a few weeks. They're fantastic musicians. They're really lovely people. We just have a great laugh together, you know. It feels like a unit and a team, and that's what I've always wanted, regardless of it being my name on the front of the packet.
Yep.
I've got an amazing group of people that care about each other, care about me, care about the project that we've got going, and I couldn't be more blessed to have them in my life working with me.
So many influences.
Yeah, absolutely. Musa is a metalhead. Ale likes all kinds of crazy music. Frankie is into his more like traditional rock, AC/DC.
Yeah.
He's constantly asking me to do the rock pose, or he wants to do some kind of choreography, like guitar wacky stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I'm obviously from a punk, ska, mod background, but actually I was brought up being taught big band jazz and classical music because that's my background as a trained musician. So yeah, incredible mix of music and influences and things in the band, and that comes out in the music, and I love that.
So what was the first record you bought? Who was your main influence or influences growing up?
A lot of the stuff I didn't need to buy because as a child, my mum got us, you know, those magazine subscriptions?
Yeah.
So we had the old rhythm and blues people, Chuck Berry, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, all of that kind of stuff. She also bought the classical ones, so I had Holtz and Mozart and Rachmaninoff and all that kind of stuff. My dad would have all the vinyls of the 70s pop music, but also Susie Sue and Tanika Takaram, and he had the Who, the Jam, Specials, Madness. But from 1990, he was he was one of those £50 man. He'd go at the end of the month, spend £50 on music, you know. And he'd be buying from 1990 Red Hot Chili Peppers, Cypress Hill, Prodigy, all of these bands that were just coming into their own and getting really, really big over in the UK, and he was buying all of that music, so I was influenced by that as well. And yeah, but equally the Ramones and Sex Pistols and all of this kind of stuff. So I was really lucky to be brought up in a household where I didn't need to buy music because I had a length and breadth of a library of music in my house all of the time. And my dad bought me my first record player, so I'd go in and sneak into his room and get all the vinyls and be, you know, Wick Round Band, gonna make you my man. You know, in my bedroom, like bouncing around and stuff. The one, my first ever album I bought was because I was too young to understand what music was, and I picked it out because of the face on it, and it was actually Sonia. Do you remember Sonia?
Oh,
Liverpudlian,
this
right?
the red-headed girl.
Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. So I bought that because, my mum was like, you can buy your first album today. And I think I must have been about 7. I didn't know what I was doing, you know. So I picked up a tape in W.H. Smith, and that's, you know what, I learned all the songs, loved it. Rescue me, and take me in your arms. Loved it. The second one after that was actually Alicia's Attic.
Oh, okay.
Really, really liked that sort of post-grungy pop kind of sound. And from there I started getting into things like Green Day, and so from quite an early age, sort of 14, 15 years old, I was really into that sort of post-grungy, punky kind of sound. And I knew that's where I kind of wanted to go with my own sound. But yeah, all sorts of music, all sorts of influences. I just love it. Just love everything about music. There's a song or a genre for every kind of mood and perspective and story, and that never gets boring.
Superb. Well, I think we better wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to... Have you sound checked, by the way, yet?
No, we need to go back in and do that.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Vital, that is, isn't it?
It is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus my butt's cold.
And mine. Can I thank you, young lady, for your time?
Oh, thank you for inviting me to have a chat with you. It's been great.
Well, I do that with all my mates. And that's what it's all about, helping each other, sharing the love and sharing the music.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gabby.
Thank you, Millie Manders.
You're a star.
Well, thanks for listening. Good night and God bless.